Good morning. Here's another pre-open look at your zones here. So this is what we're starting off with today. It is Wednesday, July 20th, and this is how we're getting going, right, from yesterday. So we came down and tested the balance zone, right? Ran up, tested the high zone, pulled back, and then we ran up again to test these points of interest. And coming into the morning, we've come down sideways, then slam lower to test the high zone from above. So the question is now, do we get a bounce back up in this direction, or do we roll over and head back through the high zone here, right? Test it again, push through it. What ultimately happens remains to be seen, right? But that's what we're looking at. Okay. So that's going to do it for your early morning look. We'll see you later today. Okay, folks, we're here at the end of the day. I wanted to do a quick evoke wrap up for today. Pretty interesting to say the least, right? We opened up right here. This is 9:30, and began to sell off pretty immediately, right? Down, 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 down. Now, mind you, we were speaking in the trading room before the open, and some of us were even long here, right? Right on top of this. We had come back, started to bounce right here. This looked like good support. So some of us had gotten long on signals right before the open. Now, as it turns out, this was a very good sell pattern, right? Because down hard, right, especially right here, three crows to the upside, break the low of the top, right, and down she went, right? So I lost money on that. A couple of people got out by the skin of their teeth and didn't lose money, but I came back and picked it up over here. I'm kind of proud of myself. I was very patient, waited for all three data points in my mind to align, and took a trade, and it worked out pretty well, right? Gave me I actually scalped down here. I scalped my way back to even, and then I waited for a really good setup to the upside, excuse me. So got that, and it took care of itself, and was able to scale out positively and in a way that gave me my daily goal, and hung around for a bit more of it, and finally got out, I think, on the last piece of it at 67.25, so right in front of the all-time high, and I feel pretty good about that because we didn't go much beyond it. Okay. This box right here, as you know, wasn't on the pre-open chart, and that's for a very good reason, right? So as this action happened, and as we started to come back to here, I noticed that this congestion was probably going to provide some pretty significant resistance, right? And notice it started at the top of the high zone, right? Not to mention the fact that this area of congestion over here, right, was what provided support, and that was, this same line was the top of it, right? So I figured from here, the top of the high zone, to the top of this congestion area might provide some pretty interesting resistance, and it did for a little while, but it really didn't matter because the buyer stepped up, and really the buy, you could tell even right here that the buyers were interested in 68, which was the all-time high at that time, right? So we went and got it, took it out by a little bit, went a little bit higher, and that was all she wrote. Okay. But again, the point of me showing this to you is to remind you that these zones, this zone, and this zone, and the points of interest, for the most part, are in place before the cash open each day, right? So they're available for you to trade against from the moment that the market opens, and for the remainder of the day, right? Now, most people, one other thing, most people would think that once this price got up here, this was actually support, right? And most people would think it failed once you breach the bottom side of the zone. But those of you or those folks who are taught by me come to understand that unless it breaks the bottom of this zone substantially and for an extended period of time, this was still effectively support, right? It never broke it in such a way as to have this turn into resistance, right? And it showed, right? We went right back through it and never came back to it, right? This point of interest became support. Okay, point's still the same. The zones are there for you, and the points of interest are there for you before the market ever opens, right? So you have something against which to put your back to lean into for your trades, which is a substantial portion of the game, north of 60-70%, I promise you. Okay, so that's going to do it. Any questions? As per, I always say that at the end of these, and you know what, you as well can reach out. Ask the trader at theartofsimpletrading.com, right? Any questions, reach out. Okay, take care.